Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast, which your boy Ryan enjoys wrestling and the Heartbreak Dude Denton. And this is our AEW edition. Yeah, oh, I missed that game. It was so awful. All right, but this is our AEW edition where we're going to have some news, talk all things Rampage and Collision, and that Dynamite episode, but also, we are going to dive in a little bit in the ratings with AEW versus NXT and give our views and opinions on that, plus our segments and least valuable and most valuable dudettes of the week. So we got a jam-packed show, Ryan. Are you ready? Because I think we're going to do our news segment called The Dudes Read the News. And I think it's just the dude reads the news and the other dude just
reacts.
Opinions. Yeah.
No, yeah. So let me get the thing. I can't find it now, of course, now that I'm on the spot. But yeah,
I jumped too fast for you. Yeah, sorry about that.
Hey, it's the story of my life. But
you said fast and quick. Yeah.
But no, there's some news about Shane O'Mac. This apparently broke last week, but we didn't. We didn't talk about it. We didn't do an episode last week, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it. But there's new reports going around that said that Shane McMahon and AEW are far apart on a contract negotiation, and that talks have actually fizzled out between Shane O'Mac and the number 2 wrestling company in the world. It all started off that, you know, Shane McMahon was trying to get intel on the company. He reached out to a few AEW talents, including Mercedes Moné. Then a few weeks later, he had that picture that spread like wildfire with AEW CEO Tony Khan. And since then, things have been pretty quiet. But now the latest rumor is that momentum behind Shane McMahon joining AEW has stalled. And even if he does sign a deal, it won't be until 2025. So not really surprising news. I didn't think he was. I mean, I don't think there were I know there were rumors that he was going to be the face behind the Moxley group and all that, but I think those were all just rumors. I don't think there was any real reason to believe he was coming to AEW.
No, and I think they did that on purpose too, because how much have you heard of the higher powers since a while? Moxley just did that at the beginning to get people talking, get buzz going, which props to them, and it didn't work, obviously, which we'll get into at the end of this episode. But
yeah,
no, I mean, he was never going. Let's stop. Dave Meltzer BS once again. All these clickbait medias and pro wrestling always think they know what they're talking about, but it's never going to happen. I mean, TKO just did a thing where they talked about, they hung out, they just had dinner with Shane McMahon or with Vince McMahon, and Vince is in good spirits and he loves where WWE is going, but he still has zero say in it. Shane's not going to go to, it's just because he's not part of the company, they still founded that company. And I don't ever see you turning on the company that you legitimately built. And Shane helped in a lot of ways building WWE during the Attitude Era and to get them where they are today. Why would he just turn to try to then defeat it because it's owned by other people or whatever? I just never once believed it. Let's move on from this.
Yeah.
And who wants to go to AEW right now? Like, we'll get into that at the end of the episode, but yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think it would be huge for AEW to get Shane O'Mac, but I don't think it's going to happen. So we can move on from there.
Yeah.
And then the other news is Malakai Black, and we'll talk more about this when we get to our Dynamite recap. But apparently there was some post-match shenanigans after this match, and he shook Adam Cole's hand, and they like embraced and they kissed.
They made
and
out,
all this, like,
yeah,
they did.
Time.
But apparently there were that led to speculation that the way that match ended looked like a send-off for Malakai Black, and the fans were chanting like "Thank you, Malakai," and Adam Cole gave a speech about him, and it felt like a very, very send off, and people were started speculating that he's leaving AEW, he is injured, or there's more to the story. And he finally, this is like the second time he's done this, but he, in response to all the noise, he issued a statement on his Instagram story, and he said that here we are once more, one match down, and again, everybody is, he's retiring because of his injuries, this and that. He's apparently been dealing with a back injury that kept him out of action for a while, and apparently that came back. But he was like, I'm not injured, neither am I retiring or am I leaving. I feel this happens every match I have, and I don't understand how many times you're going to say these things. They're not happy, and then them not happen, and people will still fall for that. I haven't been injured in more than 3 years, and I'm referring to my back injury, of course, and I only posted about that after it had already been done. And if you would have read that post, you would have seen that, and not what other people have written about it. I'm fine. I've been fine for the longest time. I would really appreciate it if that stuff pops up, man. If I'm retiring, you're going to hear it from me. And not just after Adam just cuts a promo like thank you for the match, because that's all it was. So thank you. So Malakai Black. So everyone stop with the stupid rumors.
I'm very surprised. So the last rumors was actually done by the media. Sean Ross Sapp, who is considered legitimate, he was the one that broke that fake ass news, and Malakai called him out on it and so on. And
then they doubled down. That was the thing that pissed me off.
Yeah. Well, because Sean Ross Sapp is a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
I can't stand that. I hope when we go to WrestleMania Vegas, I bump into that. I hate Sean Ross Sapp, and I want to tell him to his stupid, puny 4'8" face that he's a pile of crap, and he thinks he's hot and cool, and that guy's up and nothing like it. Never mind. I'm not even going to get into the fact that he probably still lives in his mom's basement. I hope he is. I hope. Come find me, bro. I'll send you my address. DM me, Sean Ross Sapp. But anyway. Dave Meltzer is way more scarier than Sean. At least Dave Meltzer looks like he does steroids. Sean Ross Sapp just goes to Popeyes and eats every day while he freaking reiterates.
All right.
Anyway, all right, let's get into it. But anyway, I can't stand media and wrestling. They are like,
I agree. I agree.
Especially people like him, who at least now Dave Meltzer has kind of like cowered out and doesn't really do as much. He's realizing, okay, people are caught on to me, but Sean Ross pretends like PW Torch. Those guys are legit. Check them out. But anyway. Like, they're the best that we got of news-wise. But I'm surprised that these wrestlers... So first Ricochet, right? Ricochet and Samantha Irving were so, like, defensive of what people on the internet were saying. And now it seems like Malakai Black... I'm surprised that these professional wrestlers... I get it. Like, if you hear people saying things, you want to be defensive. But the fact that he felt necessary to do this is kind of bananas. Because this was just, like, fan-led fuel. Like, why even acknowledge it?
Well,
just
it did
be the
lead
bigger
to,
man and just move on. Oh, did it get to somebody?
It led to a lot of media outlets saying that Malakai Black is leaving AEW. His contract's up at the end of 2024. He's a free agent officially 2025. And so I think like it got to some of these dirt sheets out there, and they ran with it, and that led to fans
maybe that's why
speculating that was his last match in AEW. He's leaving. That was his send off. And yeah, so then he decided to go to Instagram and was like, look, no, I'm not going anywhere. Just stop. So
why is that even news to be? Who cares if he's retired? For one, he's not retiring. The dude is what, like in his prime? He looks like a god, like shaped. He looks like Thor, for crying out loud. Like, why would he be leaving right now? I don't, you know what I mean? And does it matter if he goes back to WWE or stays in AEW? All of this is so I don't know. The tribalism, wink, wink, is like alive and well always. That we can't just let.
I think people just. It's another negative if he leaves AEW. Oh, look, another one leaving AEW and going back to the company that made. It's just anytime they can spread bad news about AEW, they're going to jump at it.
So people just went to AEW. Ricochet is the last person to leave, and he just went. Baron Corbin's probably on his way. I mean, it's not like people aren't going to AEW. I don't understand why we got to hate all the time. Yeah. But with that said, we're about to get into our reviews of AEW.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, let's get into Rampage and Collision. We're going to do Rampage first, go into Collision, review them both. Are you ready?
Always.
All right. Rampage review. La Fashion defeats JD Drake, Beef, your favorite wrestler, and the Butcher.
He's back.
Yeah, he is, baby. He has a beef Tupac tattoo. Have you seen it? Like the Thug Life tattoo around
That's
his
pretty
belly button,
yeah.
but it says beef.
That's awesome.
That's commitment, dude. Stokely Hathaway takes credit for Private Party. Taya Valkyrie wins a squash match. Afterwards, Valkyrie is told by Hathaway that Lynn was talking mess, so she goes back out there and beats up this girl she just squashed. Queen Amanada defeats Layla Gray. Top Flight and Andrade defeat Dark Order. And in the main event, Lio Rush defeats Commander, and that's basically Rampage. Let's get a Collision. You ready?
Yeah.
That was a quick Rampage. A bunch of people in and out of the ring, I guess, to celebrate Private Party. Was that what it was? It was like, felt like I don't know. Yeah. So then Private Party hits the ring, but then other tag teams want a shot, so they all kind of bicker. All right. And then the Acclaim also want a shot. They cut a promo backstage, and Max Caster still has MVP's card. Boom, boom, boom. Thunder Rosa defeats Harley Cameron. The Kingdom get confronted by Brian Cage and Lance Archer. Kyle Fletcher defeats Commander. Commander was all over everything. If you don't know this, he really was on like ROH, AEW, and he lost all of them. It was not a good week for Commander. After Mark Davis, and if you guys don't know who Mark Davis is, he's the other person from Aussie Open. They basically, Mark Davis yells at Fletcher. He can really care less, so he walks away. Jack Perry is in the back when Daniel Garcia confronts him. Jack Perry tells Garcia he's not ready for the TNT title. Brian Cage and Lance Archer defeat a couple of jobbers. After the match, the Kingdom makes the save. So are they officially good guys? Oh, I don't know. AR Fox and Nick Wayne will wrestle next week. Chris Statlander says Mercedes Moné is afraid of her. We'll see about that on Dynamite. The BCC out for a chat. Moxley says Orange Cassidy will have to kill him, and Yuta understands sacrifice. Out comes Action Andretti for some reason to attempt to like interrupt him, and then he just gets beat up, and then Pac beats him again in a match. I don't know. But after the match, Orange Cassidy talks smack, and Mox literally smacks Wheeler Yuta at least 15 times, which then fires up Wheeler Yuta to, didn't we already do this angle at the original BC? Okay, just making sure. Then Wheeler Yuta attacks Orange Cassidy only to get laid out. Lio Rush defeats Daivari. Johnny TV is impressed by MXM Collection in a pretty funny segment. He wants to work with them. Roderick Strong defeats Shane Taylor. And in the main event, Moriah May barely defeats Anna Jay with a surprise roll-up to defend her title to close the show. And that's a Rampage and Collision review. Where do you want to start in these jam-packed episodes, bro?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so I'll start with Rampage, but then I'll go Collision, and then we'll do the Dynamite thing. But the Rampage, yet again, focused primarily a lot on the women. There was a lot of women focus on the show. But I also feel like now that we know that Rampage is done, I feel like they're also phoning it in a big way. Because, I mean, that main event was... you could skip it. And this week's episode of Rampage was another one where the last couple of weeks, the stories have been feeding into Collision. They've been feeding into Dynamite. This week you didn't have to watch it. You didn't have to watch it, and you didn't miss anything. So that was a little disappointing, but it was a good opportunity for the women to shine.
That was perfectly said. When I watched this episode, when I was done, I was like, I should have just watched Collision and just phoned in Rampage on this.
Yeah.
You're lucky, y'all, that we love you guys so much that we watch this stuff so we can critique it. And I suffered through an hour of my life to watch. Well, 45 minutes because I watched it pre-recorded. But
skip it.
Yeah, I mean, Lio Rush is now I don't care if it's a Rampage or not. Lio Rush is main eventing of anything against Commander. Like, why was Top Flight and Action Andretti defeating wrestling Dark Order? It just, none of it made sense whatsoever. I mean, Stokely Hathaway taking credit for Private Party, but then like disappearing on Collision when they come back. There was no real.
Yeah. What was the point of that?
What was I don't know. Yeah. And Beef and Butcher, man, I'm glad they have jobs and good for them, but holy cow, they're just like the resident Rampage jobbers. Imagine being a Rampage jobber. Like, that's what you get.
That's like the lowest.
Bro, you're going to lose on Rampage every week. Cool. Beef. At least I made enough money for this Tupac tattoo. But it's pretty bad. I agree with you. Let's get into Collision. At least Collision had some things going on with it.
Yeah.
Was something you want to go off with?
I want to talk about the Acclaimed. What do you think of that promo from Max Caster? Feels like there's a little dissension amongst them because they were interrupting each other. Max Caster cut off Anthony Bowens when he was doing Everyone Loves the Acclaimed, and then at the end, Anthony Bowens cut him off by saying "nut up" or "shut up," and then Max Caster still carrying around MVP's business card, so kind of leading to some dissension there, which I would hate to see it for AEW's tag team division, but at the same time, they've done everything they can do. Maybe it is time to see what they can do on the single side.
Being a huge Acclaim fan, and the Acclaimed are the reason why I got into AEW, to be honest with you. I fell in love with them early on, and
they were the most overact in all of wrestling at one point. Yeah.
Oh, all of wrestling. Yeah. And then they blew that by having them lose to the Guns. But I'm for it. I mean, when Private Party opened up the Collision and all the tag teams were everywhere, I was like, their tag team division's doing all right. They have enough. What are the Acclaim going to do again is win it. They don't need it. The promo was weird, though. I get Max Caster calls himself like the greatest wrestler alive or whatever, but that was the reason why. It was very Xavier Woods. I'm feeling a very New Day vibe with this. I'm not saying AEW is stealing it. I'm just saying I'm getting that same vibe, right? Where it's all about him, not really caring about Bowens, talking about himself. When he had the card and he like took it from me, he was like, "Don't worry, I'm we might, right? We might, yeah." Like it looks like he's about to branch off, but I think, like you said, it's a good thing. I don't know if Max Caster can survive by himself or Bowens, but hey, you got to try, right? And you can always combine them back together in 2 years of AEW still around if they don't work.
Yeah, I think Caster can. I think he's got the mic ability. He can do the rapping thing. He can do all that. I worry about Bowens. I don't know if he can, but I think Bowens is
good though.
He's better. I think he's better in the ring than Caster is.
So do I. Who's the best wrestler in the world? Yeah.
But I think Caster's better on the microphone, and I think he has more charisma. So, and that's what fans like, is someone that they can get behind. So, who knows?
But I'm all for the split. You might as well. I mean, try it for them. And the Acclaimed is now, because of AEW, kind of like a dying act. So they don't even rap anymore. They're pretty much just dwindling away. But Caster with MVP, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin
would be good.
Possibly Swerve. Who knows? That could work, man. That could work. Just saying.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Can we talk about the main event really quick? If you might want to talk about other things, but we can talk about this main event.
Sure.
Anna Jay. Mariah May. Well, we've been talking about for so long that, like the Acclaim, were the hottest acts at one point, and it got just straight ruined. Mariah May is on the same type of, her and Toni Storm were must-watch team. People were comparing their feud to Hangman and Swerve, and it shouldn't even been in that atmosphere, and it was. And people were saying, which one is better, this and that. Holy cow, what have they done with Mariah May? And week after week after week, we talk about it and say, you can't just put her up against anybody and expect her to continue to get pushed. It's not going to work. And I thought the crowd was dead. The match was dead. I have nothing against Anna Jay. I think she's good in the ring. I think she's smoking hot. I think she's talented and so on. But right now, you're going to put her with Mariah May and have Mariah May do a surprise roll-up to get the victory. Like, she couldn't even do it. She had to roll her up to win. It was very, where's Mariah May going next? Who do you see her challenging next? What rivalry do you see her wrestling next? Why is she always wrestling on Collision?
Yeah.
When was the last time we saw her on Dynamite? What are we doing with Mariah May? She is overall amazing, stunning, talented, promos, and she was a huge heel. And she's okay with bleeding. She was everything you would ever want in a female wrestler. And I just feel like we have basically ruined her. I do. Do I think she'll lose her? No, but we've ruined her. I don't think she can get back to where she was. I mean, am I wrong? I don't think we can ever get her back. Even with Toni Storm coming back, I don't think we can ever get her back there.
I don't. Yeah, I feel like this happens a lot with AEW when they put championships on people. We talked about the Acclaimed and when they won the tag team titles and how they were super over, and then they dropped the belt randomly, and that killed them. And now we have Mariah May, who is doing absolutely nothing in the women's division as the women's champion. Same thing with Mercedes. She's not really doing anything. And then it's like they do a good job of building people up through the chase, and then when they get the title on them, they lose all their momentum. Samoa Joe was the same way when he won the title. Swerve Strickland for the beginning of his championship reign was another one. It just, I don't understand what they're doing with Moriah. I really, really don't. I'm happy to see Anna Jay back. I'm glad to see that she's an asset to that women's division, and I'm happy 100%. To have her back. And I'm, another night where the women shined because they got the main event on Collision. But yeah, like that to me, like that kind of match should have been on a pay-per-view. It should have been built up a little bit more, because Anna Jay's an AEW original. She's Jack Perry's girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Like, why not play into that? And kind of make her. I don't know what they could have done, but this was just, I mean, it was a good match on Collision, but again, you also just brought Anna Jay back. Can she afford to lose in her first match back? I mean, I feel like you're kind of hurting her too by putting her in this position.
Oh, dude, major props to Jack Perry, my boy. Anna Jay. Woo! That's my dude right there doing his damn thing. But yeah, I don't get it. I'm glad that the women are getting attention. I'm glad that they focus on the tag team division, right? That was this whole focus of this whole episode, and showing that people are real contenders and can beat Private Party, although Private Party hasn't been built up to feel like they can't lose. Like, I feel like any of those teams that can wrestle Private Party tomorrow could win. And now I feel like with Moriah May, like, where are we going? I don't know. I keep saying over and over again, AEW has great ideas, poor execution. They can never execute and finish. Tony Khan constantly makes fun of WCW and how they're not alike. They are. That was WCW's downfall. Great ideas, poor execution. It's literally what it shows. That pro wrestling ain't as easy as people make it out to be, and Triple H deserves a lot more credit than what he's getting.
Yeah, for sure.
Booking wrestling is hard, man. Anything else in this episode? Yeah.
We can talk about the promo from Private Party, because I did not enjoy that at all. I thought
that's what I was just. Yep.
They didn't strike me. They need a mouthpiece. I think they need a Stokely Hathaway. They need an MVP. They need a Don Callis. They need somebody to speak on their behalf. Because that was not a good showing. I also didn't understand FTR. Like, they were like, oh, we'll challenge anybody, anytime, and FTR like starts fighting them and shoving them. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, FTR is like the best tag team supposedly ever, but I don't know. But like, I feel like they're over here working with the Outrunners, and we respect tag team wrestling, and we want to build tag team. And the FT Outrunners and all that. But then the second Private Party waves the titles in their face, they're like shoving them and like school children. Yeah. I didn't understand that, but I'm happy to see the tag team division getting some shine, and it's deeper than I thought it was. So like you said earlier, I think even if the Acclaimed do break up, I think they'll be fine. And now you have Johnny TV and the MXM Collection. You still have the Grizzled Young Veterans out there. So I think the tag division is deeper than I realized.
Oh, heck yeah. And I love the WWE vibe they gave with like the nobodies at the top of the ramp and then all the in the ring. I loved it. I was like walking by them like, and Private Party was like, let's get to like the real tag team. Sorry, MXM Collection, who was just a brand new tag team coming in, hotter than ever. Oh, that's right. The Grizzled Young Vets were right next to them too, both hyped up. But let's make room for the Outrunners, because there's something.
And the Outrunners are the cutting promos now, talking about we're the best wrestlers. Oh, can we stop with those promos too? Like, it's
thank you.
Let's stop them. I'm sick of the rah-rah speeches every single week. It's either Adam Cole, FTR, Adam Copeland. They're all hitting them now, and it's just like, can we stop it? We get it. Like, can you imagine WWE every week cutting a promo saying, "Then, now, forever, together. Say it with me. Then, now, forever, together, forever." Like,
so stupid.
Yeah, just stop. We get it. Like, that's your slogan, but you don't have to say it every single week on promo.
Yeah. How many times did WCW say those were the big boys play? They didn't say it every freaking week. It's so stupid, and I'm over. It makes you look Bush League. I've been saying it for 5 years with AEW. Stop being Bush League. Your ratings are showing it. Stop being Bush League. Just be you.
Agreed.
Do your damn wrestling. All right, let's get into Dynamite. You ready? Because a lot happened on Dynamite.
Yes, big time.
All right. Let's go. The Hurt Syndicate, not the Hurt Business, the Hurt Syndicate open the show and say you are with them or against them. Out comes Swerve, who was held back by security, but he's like, they're like, I don't know. But anyway, he challenges Bobby Lashley at Full Gear, and MVP accepts for Bobby Lashley. Bum, bum, bum. Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy and the Death Riders, no longer the BCC. They are now officially called the Death Riders. And in the DQ, after the match, the Death Riders have the beatdown, but the conglomeration make the save. Ricochet has a mystery partner later, and the Hurt Syndicate say they have their eye on him. Why? The conglomeration defeat the Learning Tree. Like, why was this match on? John Moxley says Wheeler Yuta is not Orange Cassidy's friend. Adam Cole defeats Malakai Black. Let me reiterate what happened in this match. Cole kicked out of
this is what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So Cole kicked out of the end, which is Malakai Black's finisher, which I don't know how many people have ever kicked out of that. So let's not make finishers great again, right? And then Black let him beat him. Literally was perfectly healthy, perfectly fine, could still wrestle. Got on his knee, on his butt, and literally said, hit me with your finisher. And then he hit him with this finisher. I don't know what the heck happened. And then after the match, they make out. Cole then grabs the mic and says that if him and Strong both win all 3 matches, then it's a 3-way against Max at Full Gear. I just have to say that I think I forgot who Adam Cole beat the first time, but Adam Cole had to beat Malakai Black. Just so you know, Roderick Strong defeated Shane Taylor. So obviously
he had to beat Buddy Matthews.
Same.
So he had to beat both members of House of Black.
Oh, yeah, both members of House of Black. And even though I think Buddy Matthews is a freaking joke, that's still 2 competitors. He beat Shane Taylor, by the way. So I'm assuming Roderick Strong will next face Beef and then probably the Butcher to earn his way to a match against MJF.
Well, that's a feud in the making right there. The Beef versus the Butcher. Like, Beef sign me up for that. Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, man. Too bad there's not a wrestler called the Taco. And then Max at Full Gear. Unless we use the guy from the league. I love Taco from the league. Oh, God, Taco's the best. MJF is shown calling someone to tell them to pay someone a visit. I don't know, but don't worry. You'll find out in 5 seconds. Jay White and Hangman Page brawl all over the place. It ends in the ring. Jay White tells Hangman Page not only will he beat him, but he might submit him too. Might. I'm not going to submit you, but I might. It could happen. I don't know. We'll get back to it. Where am I at now? Mercedes Moné and Camille seem to hit Statlander with her car. I don't know. It looked like they missed, but then Mercedes Moné was like, you hit her with your car, you idiot. But then Chris Statlander was perfectly fine, and she beat the crap out of both of them. I don't know what's happening. The Patriarchy hit the ring, and Christian Cage tells Kip Sabian that he's a better son than Nick Wayne. And then they hug. So let me get this straight. Does Christian Cage just bring new people in and then just instantly hate the other one? Because Nick Wayne was literally 5 seconds ago is up. Oh my gosh. Okay, out comes Hook, and Christian says that he took out Taz, finally admitted it, and also wished that Taz was dead, and that Cage did it because he needs a son like Hook. So does he need Kip say? I don't know. Some dude in a suit, though, ends up giving Don Callis cash and a ring. He then plays a voice message from MJF saying to get the job done. And God, we've seen this already like 17. Okay, I'm just supposed to do reviews. Jamie Hayter defeats Penelope Ford in a match nobody wanted to see. And in the main event, Ricochet and a returning Powerhouse Hobbs to legit silence defeats the Don Callis family. After the match, the family lay them out. Mark Davis comes out to silence. And then out comes Adam Cole, who runs off to Kesha, because I'm assuming that's his next, competitor. And then the return of Will Ospreay to a huge announcement, crowd reaction returns, and Fletcher runs away. And that is the AEW Dynamite review. Sorry I made that long, people. I know I'm hating right now, but I was like, just watching this episode, yeah, it really was. You can start at the top, work your way to whatever you want to do.
I want to start with what we talked about in Dudes Read the News with Malakai Black and Adam Cole and that whole angle, because I'm sorry, like, so you made Adam Cole go through. So there's 2 options that I think would make more sense than whoever it is in the it's probably like Brian Cage or Lance Archer or somebody like that, or because Takesha's in the feud with Ricochet. I don't know, but
No, but Adam Cole ran out Takeshita, so I'm assuming he's next.
Yeah.
He has to be next. He ran him out.
So, but why would you have?
Takeshi's going to take an L. Yeah.
Yeah, your champion, your international champion. Yeah, probably because of Ricochet. Like I can see it now, and then that's how we get to Ricochet. Yeah. But why would you have Adam Cole beat Buddy Matthews and then Malakai Black? And wouldn't the next logical opponent be, oh gee, I don't know, Brody King? Like
what? Like
have him run
people? Yeah,
have him run the gauntlet of House of Black and like make that happen, or Roderick Strong has to win 3 matches. Adam Cole has to win 3 matches. Adam Cole's won 2 matches. Roderick Strong has his second match sometime this week. Why not make the third match Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong, and the winner faces MJF? Like
weird. That's logic right there. Weird.
Like it's just like this storyline's all over the place. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't get it. But yeah, and then the whole ending with Malakai, like the ending was weird. The ending was like Malakai Black. I know he went on Instagram and cleared up all the rumors saying that he's not leaving and he's not going anywhere, and you know we can squash those rumors. But then why did you do it? That's what I don't understand. Like what were you looking to get? Is this a character change for House of Black? Because last week Buddy Matthews shook his hand too. So is this a character change for them? Like are they going babyface now? Are they going because I'll get more into it later with MVD, LVD probably, but I just you had him cut that promo on Collision, the video segment where he's talking about I've been sitting around silently for far too long just to come out and lose, and he was completely fine. He just it's like he gave up in the middle of the match and that was it. And yeah, like how am I supposed to take him seriously now? I don't understand. This start and stop booking with Malakai Black's got to stop.
It really does. And that's why I thought it was funny that he said, like, let it cook or whatever. Like, this is like story. It's awful. Awful. For one, this is the second out of 3 matches. You're going to have Adam Cole kick out of Malakai Black's finisher, which I do not remember anyone ever kicking out of.
No.
To my knowledge. Maybe it has. I'm not Santy. I don't have like a photographic memory.
I don't think he has. He's never beaten Malakai Black either. And every time they fought in NXT, he never beat him.
So why not be the third match? Why not do all of House of Black? That makes way more sense than MJF paying for somebody for the last match. He does this every freaking time. Let's hear it. Yeah.
And the other thing is you have a Hurt Syndicate there now who you pay them money and they go and beat people down.
That's their job. Yeah.
So why are you paying somebody else?
I don't know. And who was that guy in the suit? Never seen him before. He's like, hey.
Yeah.
And then when he got this phone out, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be that one Japanese wrestler who doesn't know how to use his, who doesn't speak English, uses the. But no, it was MJF.
Funny.
Yeah, but it was MJF. Like, hey, man, you know what to do. Don't scratch my ring. So is the ring to help the guy cheat to win? Like, what the heck are we like?
And like,
why?
How did all this happen? Like, this story again, how did all this happen? Like MJF is not there. So how does he have the ring? Like, oh, I don't get it.
I don't know. And why would they cut to him? I love it too, because that cut with him drinking wine, he was like, 3, 2, you're already being recorded. Go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Red wine. Like, you know what to do, random guy. Like, it's so like. Yeah, I don't want to turn all the AEW fans off. I'm just trying my best.
Oh, I know.
But I did not like that he kicked out of a finisher and then he gave up and surrendered when it was the middle of his trifecta to get to where he needed. That seemed like a big deal to me, and that should have happened last, not in the. And I still wouldn't have been okay with it. But yeah, I can see why the community thought, "Hey, he's leaving," because it was really stupid and out of character. Why would Malakai Black not only that, but Malakai Black like half slapped his hand away in the handshake, but then made out with him afterwards. It was all stupid. And please, Malakai Black, if you're listening, put in the comments or maybe just whatever. Let me know where this is going. How it makes sense that you and Adam Cole randomly befriending and hugging and becoming best friends is good for storyline purposes. Please hit me up with that. I want to see your vision, because it does not have a vision, and we'll never hear about this again. That's the vision.
That's the thing. So. Yeah, that's the thing. Like we won't hear, but we'll never know why this went down the way that it did.
Hurt Syndicate. Ugh. We kind of knew that was the name anyway, which is stupid. Look, Cody Rhodes left AEW and went to WWE was the same exact character. Okay. A few months later, WWE was like, nah, fam, we're not going to have you be the same exact character. You can use your stupid name. You're John Cena now. And they turned him into John Cena.
And they just had a report saying they see him as the next John Cena in WWE. That they're very happy with him as WWE champion. And they view him as the top babyface going forward. He's going to hold the belt for a long time. And they view him, they literally said this in the article, as this generation's John Cena.
Well, fantastic. Just like John Cena, he's doing nothing but bringing down the ratings and making television boring. I'm so glad that Triple H and Vince both love boring, non-rating wrestlers, helping them lead their wrestling organization. But with that said, the Hurt Syndicate, are you okay with them being the same exact thing they were? They're literally the same name. They just had to take out business. They're wearing the suits. They're the hits for hire. They're trying to get... Are you okay with this? Or here's the thing. WWE and AEW are different. So why are you going to take a character from one organization to the other exactly the same? Are you for it? Did you like their thing? Or do you think they should have maybe did something different to make it more AEW?
I think it's too early. Because they could add some AEW folks to the group, and therefore that does make it more AEW like. So, but I don't have a problem with it. I think I'm okay with it, and here's why: we never got to see the Hurt. First of all, the Hurt business was cut way too short in WWE
100%.
because of freaking Vince McMahon and his idiotic booking decisions and everything. And don't get me started on that. But also, we never got to see them in front of a crowd. When they were there during the Thunderdome era, the COVID era. So now we get an opportunity to see. We've been asking for them to come back. We wanted them to reunite in the WWE. They never did. We wanted them to. We thought maybe the Street Profits were in MVP and Bobby Lashley would do something. They never did. So we've been asking for this group to come back, and now we have them back, and we get them in front of a crowd. So now we get to see how they do, not only on a little smaller stage than WWE, but in front of a crowd, see if they can get over, see what they can do. So no, I have zero problem with it. And, it did happen with Cody Rhodes going from AEW to WWE, but it also happened with Shawn Spears in NXT. He's the chairman of Shawn Spears from AEW to NXT, and All Ego Ethan Page is over in NXT with the same exact gimmick and everything too. So I don't really have a problem with it.
All right. I agree with you. Just throwing out questions.
I know people
Swerve.
do.
Yeah. Swerve, he's joining, right?
I think so. I think
he's turning on his
he's
boy.
got to. He's got to.
Right? That's like selling it, right?
He has. Yeah. I feel like but does he need to? That's my only thing. Like, he's done everything on his own. Like MVP. So he was talking about that, we give you that business card. That's a sign of greatness. That means we see potential in you.
Mm-hmm.
But Swerve has done everything on his own. You know what I mean? Like,
he is potential. Yeah, he's that dude.
And he doesn't, like, if anything, he should be the leader of the Hurt Syndicate, not
he might.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, Bobby Lashley could be the muscle, and MVP's the voice. I don't know, but I feel like that's the direction they're going. But I also feel like it's not the right direction to go either, because Swerve is great on his own. Doesn't need a faction.
Yeah. I feel that. I just feel like they're going that way.
Yeah. I also didn't like Prince Nana in this episode, because Swerve's coming out all, he's got his mean mug in, and he's pushing, like, referees are trying to hold him back. And there's Prince Nana over there having a cup of coffee, and he's like, whose house? Swerve's house. Like, he's just like, it's like when Jeff Hardy debuted in AEW and he's dancing while his brother's getting his ass kicked. It's like, Swerve's over here.
That will always be the best.
You and me. Full gear, and he's over here dancing. Whose house?
Doing his
Swerve's house. Getting the crowd going. It was really bizarre, really bizarre.
Yeah, I agree with you. Death Riders. You like that name, or should they just say BCC? I mean, they kicked out Bryan Danielson. Why change your name? And change your name randomly, like 5-6 weeks.
Why not
after.
Tell us? Yeah, why not tell us something?
No, yeah, the announcer just started saying it. Right? Isn't that how we found out?
Yeah, it was.
It didn't say nothing.
It said it on the Titantron or the.
Oh,
the
that's
screen.
right. That's right.
It said the Death Riders.
Yeah,
but they never Yeah, like they never cut a promo and was like, "We are going to be known as the Death Riders from now on." Like there was no anything from Pac or Cesaro,
No.
Claudio or Moxley.
Ooh,
Yeah, almost slipped up. But
so
yeah,
are they the Death Riders because they like to bleed and kill people, but they also ride in a truck? Is that like whether
maybe I don't know. And like, is that the name of the faction or is that the name of the tag team? Is it Claudio and Pac are the Death Riders, or is the whole entire group the Death Riders? I don't know. I don't. Is it like when they all come together? Is it John Moxley, Marina Shafir, and the Death Riders? Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know either. I want to know what they're ranked too. What are they ranked in the AEW ranking system? How is that?
I think those things are gone. I think those.
Oh, that's right. I thought they brought them back. Okay, I'm just making sure because names and such doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, we've covered a lot. Well, let's get into Christian Cage. Come on, I know you want to talk about Christian Cage. Let's talk about all of that. Let's go. Was I wrong in my belief that what the hell? Like all of a sudden now Nick Wayne is.
I've got thoughts that we'll do it. I have some things I'll do in our segment.
So let's skip it.
But I will say I don't hate it as much as you do.
Okay.
And I think that this segment was not very good. I'll give you that. But I do think that if anybody can help elevate Hook, it's Christian Cage. I think if anybody can help get the best out of Hook, it's somebody like Christian, who has done it before. And there's a lot of different avenues that this storyline can go. So I am kind of intrigued by it, but I think there's if anybody can help push Hook to that next level, I think it's Christian.
I believe in Christian Cage, so that's nonetheless. Orange Cassidy and stuff I also want to throw to later. Okay. Let's Powerhouse Hobbs. Would you?
I'm happy he's back. I'm happy he's back.
That's facts. Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say I'll give AEW some credit for the long-term storytelling, because I completely forgot he was in the Don Callis family, and Ricochet saying my partner, he's feeling left out. He kind of made him look like a wimp. He's like, oh, he's in the Don Callis family, but you guys kind of forgot about him, and he feels a little left out. So he was my partner, and it's Powerhouse Hobbs. Now he looked fantastic. He looked great.
Well,
but I do give him credit for bringing up the fact that he was in the Don Callis family, because I completely forgot that he was. And I just didn't like the way he was introduced, and I feel like the crowd didn't really feel it either. I think they were hoping
they gave two shits, right? Yeah.
I feel like they wanted Will Ospreay. They wanted apparently Dijak posted something on X, like writing a letter to Ricochet explaining why he should be the partner, and it was like a really long like X tweet or whatever it is about their history. And so I think people were expecting maybe like somebody like him to come back, but happy to see Powerhouse Hobbs. And I'm curious where this goes now with the BCC or the Hurt Syndicate, because Ricochet still has the business card. There's rumors that Powerhouse Hobbs will be involved with them, so who knows where this is going.
I know I already was controversial with my Sean Ross Sapp stuff earlier, and you rushed me through it, but I do have to mention at the fact that once again, I said this earlier on a few weeks ago, that there was so much hate from AEW fans calling Triple H racist for the way he books wrestlers. AEW is doing the same exact thing, and I guarantee we're not getting any of that. Ricochet calls out Powerhouse Hobbs with everyone in the Hurt Syndicate are all African Americans, and I'm for it. I believe that that's what they want. They want to stick together and build together and grow together. That makes perfect sense, especially with where our world is about to go to. So be strong, be together. I'm all for it, man. Nation of Domination is still my all-time top 10 factions of all time. But I just think it's so funny that we're not getting that same energy, because people are still trying to accuse Triple H of being racist, but we're over here doing the same exact stuff in AEW, and people are just throwing a blind eye to it. Yeah.
I think it's because
for everyone.
I think it's because Triple H doesn't put them on pay-per-view cards, and AEW does.
They put everybody on their pay-per-view card. Has every single wrestler on it.
I know.
All of them. Sorry, Triple H doesn't have 27 matches every PLE. Yeah.
I think things. I completely agree. But,
all right.
Yeah, this was Jay White and Adam Page is
let's talk about that
too.
Yeah. And is Hangman Page minus Christian Cage, is he going to be the greatest heel ever in AEW? And I'm counting MJF. That man turns it. He was so good that he made CM Punk leave AEW. He's the reason he started all that.
He started it all
because he was such a good heel that even CM Punk was like, bro, you too heel. Like, we need to fight. Like, you brought it to me so bad that we have to fight in real life. Like, Hangman Page is that dude, and him and Jay White. And you got to give props to Hangman Page because he'll always do that and then take the L. He's like, okay with it. He's like, whatever, beat me, Jay White. Who cares? So I'll live to fight another day. Exactly. I love Hangman Page. I didn't like him when he was champ. I thought his championship reign was a joke. I'm a Hangman Page fan now. That dude, I love what they're doing. Legit. And him and Jay White. Yeah. Chef's kiss.
And Jay White shining.
I'm glad you brought that up.
He's getting his opportunity to shine as well because he's cutting good promos. I wish they would do away with the Bang Bang Gang and stuff. And like, we got 2 words for you. Like, that's but I do love.
Can we get rid of Juice Robinson too?
Jeez. Yeah. But he's got Tony Storm in his corner, so he's going to be around for a while. But kudos to these guys, man. Jack Perry,
right?
And Juice Robinson tells me that we have a chance, man.
We just need to find some female podcasters out there that need some hot loving.
Yeah. I'm off the market, but I'm a good wingman.
I have a girlfriend now too. I have a girlfriend now too. I can't be doing my thing, but
because you're on a diet.
I also don't ring on this finger. Actually, I have a tattoo ring with it.
Just because you're on a diet, don't mean menu.
Oh man! And also, let's get rid of the learning tree. Okay, let's go. That was a weekend review of AEW. Good stuff. Oh, the learning tree. I ain't learning nothing. All right. I'm learning that at some point you could be the greatest and you'll hit your peak. We all have Father Time hitting us, and Chris Jericho is that guy. All right, let's get into it here. What's that?
I said the Nueve, the 9-time.
Oh God. Yeah. All right, we're getting into some true and false. I'm assuming we don't have a song. That's our segment for this week. True or false. We're going to give each other a couple scenarios each, and we will decide whether or not we think they are true or false moving forward. Hopefully we got some good ones. As always, the prettiest person goes first. Ryan, let's hear it.
All right. So I'm talking about Christian Cage and Hook. So true or false? Hook will turn heel and join Christian Cage in the patriarchy, replacing Nicholas Wayne.
Why is he got to replace Nick Wayne? I love
because he's doing all this like Kip Sabian's the best son I've ever had, like all that. So I feel like Nick Wayne was cutting his eyes at him, so it feels like maybe he's on the way out. I don't know. He did that to Killshot for 7 years and he never left. Well, right.
Not because of that,
right? Yeah.
I think Hook is joining no matter what, so I guess I have to say true. Because he is going to join. You have to true. Wait, there it is.
It's damn true.
I paused for it. I think he will join. I hope it's not because of Nick Wayne, but it seemed like it was going that way. But yeah, I'm gonna say that's true. Yeah, I think Hook needs it. Hook's either going to go with Christian or go to NXT. Those are his only 2 options in life.
And that's what I was saying earlier. Like if there's anybody that can help take Hook to that next level, I think it's Christian Cage. And I think joining the patriarchy is perfect. He got rid of that FTW championship because it was his dad's title and he retired it in New York. Now he's getting rid of his deadbeat father, Taz, and now he's got a real father in his corner in Christian. So I really like I could see this going that way and helping Hook kind of. But it's all in how they're booked, right? Like Nick Wayne Nick Wayne loses every match he wrestles in. Hook can't be wrestling matches and losing. Like they got to use this as a way to propel him. But I think a heel turn and joining Christian Cage is the right way to go.
Yep, I agree. All right, and Christian Cage pushes younger stars way better than Chris Jericho does in AEW.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna go with one of my theories that I predicted, and I think it's still going to fall into suit, but I want to see if you think it's true or false after this last episode of Dynamite. Orange Cassidy will be the savior of AEW from the Death Riders, but it is not going to start at Full Gear. True or false? Meaning
it's damn true.
He will lose and make a comeback.
He's losing at Full Gear. They didn't put this. They didn't take the title off of. They're playing hot potato with the title too much. Swerve. Then Bryan Danielson dropped it, and now Jon Moxley has it. Just he's not dropping it at Full Gear. But I do think Orange Cassidy is being designed as that guy. So I got to give you props because you said a couple weeks ago on this very AEW episode that Orange Cassidy is going to go darker. He came out the very next week with dark on and a dark shirt, and now this week, he cut a really good promo last week too about he's not a leader, but he is challenging Jon Moxley because of what happened to his friend Chuck Taylor. So
just like Sting said,
yeah. So I
think the WCW days.
You're onto something. So I'm going to say true. I think he should be. And again, you're elevating somebody, an AEW original who's been there from the beginning, and that's what we've all asked for. So make it happen.
Yeah, I fully agree as well. And I think it showed Darby Allin in this tag match that he's not the one. So, like I said, I think he's going to clear out Orange Cassidy at Full Gear, injure him. He's going to disappear. I'm doing air quotes for the people listening on Spotify and such. And then it's going to be next up Darby Allin, who will then build a little feud and lose again until Orange Cassidy comes back. And then his full Sting, he won't have the crow makeup, but
my prediction, I will take it a step further, and I'll say that Orange Cassidy is the guy that's going to dethrone Jon Moxley, but it's not happening at Full Gear. But that's when Christian Cage cashes in his little contract and takes the belt off of Orange Cassidy that same night, whenever Orange Cassidy does beat Jon Moxley.
I was going to think that, but I have another question later, so I guess you jumped it, but we'll see. All right. What's your next one? What's your last one?
Maybe we should start planning ahead of time instead of.
We don't plan on this show. That makes it better. That's why that's how we do it. Everything is all from our heart.
That's right.
If we would have planned it, you would have never got that awesome Sean Ross Sapp clips for me.
There you
go.
All
right, let's go.
There you go. All right, let's go to.
You got one more. Make it count.
Yeah. No, I got. All right. All right, let's just true or false. Ricochet will end up joining the Hurt Syndicate.
I mean, I have to say true.
Yeah, he needs to.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
And for the reason why you said, if there is any, and so we were talking, I'm glad you brought this up. We were talking right before we jumped on, and I said that sometimes WWE fumbles the ball with people, right? And the Hurt Syndicate is one of them. Baron Corbin recently is another one where it wasn't the wrestler's fault. They just did not book them correctly and fumbled it. But there are also times where the WWE is trying to push somebody and probably sees something that we're not seeing and realizes they're not it. I think that's Ricochet in a nutshell. Ricochet has done nothing but underperform. The dude's finisher in AEW is a freaking joke. What is that movie's doing in AEW now? It's like Adam Cole's move or Will Ospreay's move, but like the other way around, and it looks like, why not do your move you've always done? It's stupid. His promos are atrocious. His interview with Chris Van Fleet was a joke. He just is not that guy. I just think he is not in any way he's going to elevate in AEW. Needs to be with people more talented than him. The Hurt Syndicate are those guys. So I think that's his only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think he needs we were talking about a Hook needing some guidance and direction.
Yeah.
I think
and he does.
Ricochet could benefit from going heel, changing his character, because his character or lack thereof is the exact same thing as it was in WWE. Same name, almost the same song, same style. He's getting more chances on the microphone. It's not working. So let's change it up a little bit. Let's let him kind of put on a suit like he was doing this week and join the Hurt Syndicate and let MVP do the talking for him and build him up. Make him make him and Shelton Benjamin a tag team, make him and Bobby Lashley a tag. I mean, there's so many options you can go with Ricochet and the Hurt Syndicate. So I say make it happen.
Yeah, I think Ricochet and Shelton and Swerve Strickland are both going to join, and the Hurt Syndicate are going to be dope. But bad timing with the Death Riders trying to take over AEW. Weird to build a faction while you're building a faction taking over because they can't get involved.
Well, why not just
like really
that's
weird.
What I've been wondering.
Factions.
Like, why not just Tony Khan is worried about the Death Riders. Why not just give MVP a check of $25,000 and say, hey, get my championship back? I mean, you can beat up Jon Moxley. And now you have Lashley versus. I don't know.
I mean, Bobby Lashley could beat anyone's ass. That's the thing. I mean, if we're talking real life, I mean, look at that guy.
That's
he
true.
is Dude is so. I love Bobby Lashley.
He
All
is
right.
great. Yeah.
So you brought up Christian Cage, so I'm going to do I had a few, but I'm going to do this one. True or false? Christian Cage will hold his Money in the Bank briefcase for a full year. True or false? We got to let this thing dissect.
False.
Oh,
yeah.
You think they're going to interrupt it? Okay.
I don't think he's if it doesn't happen, it's not going to happen in 2024.
Okay.
But I think I could see it happening in the Revolution, or they're going to Australia for another Grand Slam. I could see it happening there. I just don't see it happening for him holding it for a full year.
How long has he had it already?
He got it at All In, so September, August. But at the same time,
months,
but at the same time, it doesn't make sense. It did make sense for him to cash in on Bryan Danielson at Wrestle Dream, like I wanted him to, or John Moxley. And then it didn't make sense for him to he doesn't need to be feuding with the Death Riders right now because they're two heels going at it. So yeah, I think he needs to stay out of the title picture, but I don't think he can hold it for much longer. See, otherwise it gets a little stale.
See, I'm going to say it's true. And here's why.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
I think he needs it. I think it's working for him. I think he's not trying to cash it in anymore. He's just bragging that he's the next AEW World Champion, which he can do all the way to Orange Cassidy. Once Orange Cassidy wins it, you can't do it the same. I think he'll defeat him. They'll clear the air that AEW is now back to normal. And then boom, Christian Cage will then win it and become a huge heel because he just beat the savior of AEW. I think it all makes sense. And I think he'll build his sons, working his way up. Maybe he'll have a whole row of sons following him, oh, our dad's dead. Some of them aren't really dead. And then he'll just lead them all into the, light to him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. So I don't know. I think he can do it. If anyone can do it, it's him, as long as they don't do it the Tiffany Stratton way, because that's what gets stale is when you're fake cashing in every single week, then we don't care anymore. Yeah. But he stopped doing that. And I think he's over that. And he made a perfect example that Kip Sabian's a better son now because he saved him from possibly not cashing in properly because Claudio and Pac were waiting there to jump him if he would try to attempt. So I like it. And I think we're moving on past that. So I'm going to say he might. I'm going to say I can see it happening.
I do think he's
not saying it will.
And I think he needs to have his run with the title before he goes back to reforming Edge and Christian, if that's even still a thing anymore. But I think he needs to have his heel run as the champion. He deserves. If anybody deserves a title shot and a title match and a title run, it's Christian Cage after everything he's done for this company. And we don't have much longer with him. We don't know how much longer he's going to be in the ring because of his age. So.
Although he's still really good. And it's not like he's Edge where he's jumping off things and break. Like Edge might never come. That dude's like 75 years old. How do you recover from a leg injury like that? But we'll see. All right. That was true or false. You ready? It's time for our weekly segment. Least valuable dude and dudette and most valuable dude or dudette. Well, we will each give our least valuable and most valuable for this week of AEW. Rampage, Collision, and Dynamite. As always, we start with Ryan. Who is your least valuable dude or dudette this week?
I'm gonna go dudette. I was gonna go Malakai Black, but I'm gonna change mine.
Deserved. Yeah.
Very, very last minute change here on the fly, game time decision. But I'm going dudette, and I'm gonna go Camille. So I'm gonna go from
good pick. Let's talk about it.
AEW Dynamite. Who after Chris Statlander does an interview with Renee Paquette, she's driving a car and she completely misses Chris Statlander. Then she runs over her suitcase, but completely misses the person. Okay, so then Chris Statlander comes up and grabs Mercedes Moné and starts beating her down, and then Camille comes over and grabs Mercedes Moné and like picks her up and like lightly pushes her down on the
most awkward thing ever.
And then Camille, for whatever reason, opens the car door and then
puts her arm in.
Yeah. And Chris Statlander's like, okay, and shuts it. And it's like, okay, so not only did you miss your target and you're trying to run her over like Rikishi style at Survivor Series 99, but you missed, but now you end with a potentially broken arm. And I mean, I get it's a way to write off Camille off of TV, and that way when it's maybe Camille can come back at full gear and help Mercedes or cost Mercedes, because there's been a lot of friction there. So I get that that's the angle they're going in, but it was just done really, really poorly. And Camille, I mean, we didn't do an episode last week, but she lost to Chris Statlander last week as well. So it's just not been a good stretch for Camille. So last minute change, but Camille is my LV.
Great pick. I'm so glad you brought up that segment too, because it was atrocious. The timing was awful. The fact that Mercedes yelled out that she hit her with her car, but she didn't. So you thought she got hit, and then all of a sudden Chris Statlander was like, and I have to say though, those door closes, it doesn't look like there's padding. They're just like taking.
It looks like it hurts. Yeah,
and it happens a lot in pro wrestling in both organizations. But she literally opened up the door for her, put her arm in it for no reason, and was like, just throw it on there. And it was so, even when she moved Mercedes, it was also poorly. And then when Mercedes got slammed on the trunk, the belt like flew 100 feet. I don't know. It was bad, but yeah. She's become a joke. You're right.
And then my favorite part of the whole segment came at the very end when all the AEW officials and security were running up, and they're yelling at Chris Statlander like she did something wrong when she's the one that almost got ran over.
Who runs
get out of
over
here? They're like, get out of here. What are you doing? Why are you? Well, go. There's all this chaos. Like, get out of here. And I'm like, we need a medic. I'm like, wait, but she's the one that almost got murdered. And you guys are mad at her? Like, I didn't get it.
And I'm supposed to believe that A, they were just arriving 2 hours late, or B, they've been waiting in the parking lot the entire time in hopes that Statlander was going to have an interview to where they could run her over. It was all atrocious. But yeah, I agree, Camille. I'm gonna break my molds again. On our WWE edition, I broke a lot of things where I said I was gonna rate the 2 thumbs up or thumbs up, thumbs down for two dudes, 2 thumbs with attitudes. Never by the result, but I did a bunch. I'm gonna do it the same again with my least valuable dude. I know I say it's just for storyline purposes, but this time I'm not gonna do it. And my least valuable dude is MJF. This man is my favorite wrestler of all time in AEW, and he has done nothing but suck. I'm going to throw it out here. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm starting to think that MJF possibly isn't that true superstar we've always thought he was. To be a true superstar, unless you're John Cena, you have to evolve. You have to change. You have to come up with new stories, gimmicks, vibes. He literally has been the same exact person all 5 years in AEW. And we're seeing that once again. He's making people work their way through matches to get to him. He's hiring people at the last second because he can't dare face these people, thinking that they're both going to lose. It is the same tired ass shit over and over again, and you can tell the crowd didn't even care at all. Yes, Y2J, baby, one of the biggest people who has evolved nonstop, and that's why he's considered top 10 of all time. But with anyone, even Hogan had to evolve to get out of his shell of a good guy. You have Shawn Michaels, everybody. What has MJF done differently from the day you saw him at AEW to now? He did this with Jericho. He's the same person he has always been, and I'm starting to lose faith in how great and talented he truly is. And maybe this is why he didn't sign. Maybe WWE didn't want him.
Maybe.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's like done for. I'm just saying I'm starting to lose faith in him.
I'm starting to get this feeling that maybe AEW isn't, I don't want to say the place for him, but it feels like he has other obligations besides AEW as of late. I mean, he's been off filming movies, and he's been, he took time off to film Iron Claw. Now he's been off recently filming Happy Gilmore 2, and apparently he's going to be in another movie.
Can't wait.
Yeah, after that as well. And so, I mean, maybe he's starting to become kind of like their version of The Rock, where he's going to be there part-time and not really a full-time guy. And then eventually he's going to segue into movies, and maybe this is his transition. I don't know. But I said this last week, but they never should have turned him heel in the first place. I think that's where they That's where they messed up, is turning him, because he was killing it as a babyface. He came back and he was doing fantastic as the babyface, the anti-hero who didn't give a shit about anybody. He was making fun of Swerve. He was making fun of Will Ospreay. He was making fun of the bad guys. He was feuding with Commander and or Roosh rather. And he was over. The crowd loved him. He could be the guy feuding with Moxley right now as a babyface and being the savior of AEW, the guy who hated AEW. Like it's a better story, but no, or he could be a babyface in this feud with Adam Cole, but they butchered it by turning him heel. His heel character's been all over the place he had the American gimmick. He dropped that. Now he's back to being the scumbag, and now he's back to being the same old heel he was before. They never should have turned him heel this second run. He was great as a babyface. And now it's hurting that feud with Adam Cole.
It is. I don't give two craps about this at all. And why is Roderick Strong in it? Anyway, yeah. But all right, we got like 2 minutes. You ready? Let's go. Most valuable dude or dudette. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna say 3 words: the Hurt Syndicate. I think those are my most valuable dudes of the week. I think I'm excited to have Bobby Lashley in AEW. He didn't say a word in his debut promo. MVP did all the talking, but they've sold me on this match already without Bobby Lashley having to say anything with Swerve Strickland. So I'm more excited about this thing on than I am the Death Riders and anything else going on with AEW. So the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Swerve Strickland, sign me up.
Well said. That's a great, fantastic pick, and they truly deserve it. They've been fantastic since, and like you said, even keeping them the same, let's see where it goes. I think it could work in AEW if done how WWE should have done it. My most valuable has to go to one person and one person only, though. The Hurt Syndicate, even though a great choice, it's got to go to the guy who kicked out of Malakai Black's finisher and who beat up Malakai Black so bad that the dude gave up and just let him finish him and pin him and then made out with him afterwards for doing so. That is what Adam Cole, baby. That guy's got to be it. What a night for him. And now he's going to probably beat Takeshita as well to move on to MJF to get the title shot. Yeah. So it's got to go to Adam Cole, my most valuable dude of the week.
Yeah. That was going to be my other pick, but you said it perfectly. I'm happy to have Adam Cole back. I think he's showing he can go in the ring. Like he's not ring rust whatsoever the last 2 matches. So yeah, I'm back. Adam Cole.
Adam Cole, baby. All right, y'all. That's our AEW edition. I know we crapped out on it a little bit, but they're still moving progress, and I'm assuming Full Gear is soon, right? Next week?
2 weeks. Yeah, the 20.
2 weeks. So I think things are going to get a little bit more cooking. We don't have enough time to talk about the NXT and thing that we said we were going to, but we can talk about it again. Tune into our WWE, or maybe we'll make a special episode about it. Yeah. But we are going to talk about it because I do want to talk about NXT, AEW, why AEW is losing so bad. I do want to break that down, and I know Ryan does as well. So we will do it either on WWE or we'll make our own little episode and do it if we have that time. But as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you, even if you're an AEW hardcore fan and you hate that we bring them down so much. We appreciate and hopefully
we do it out of love.
We do the same. AEW. Yeah. Thank you. We do the same thing to WWE and nobody says anything because they assume we love a WWE, so it's okay. But no, we do it for both. We're just fans who want to see wrestling continue to grow and be better. If you want to hear what I have to say just by myself, tune in HBD Denton on all social media outlets. If you like reaction videos and they're gone, tune in to real people. Let's go. HBD Denton on TikTok. I don't do no fake reactions. I do real awesome stuff. You'll love it. I vibe with you. I respond. I do comments, and it's never, ever hate. So check us out. And as always with me is my brother from another mother.
It is Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. I'm the same way. Go follow me on all the social media platforms. Sir. I don't do reaction content either. It's never been our that kind of thing. In the words of Austin Powers, is not our bag, baby. But but yeah, go follow us on all the social platforms at 2 Dudes PC on X, and then we're almost at 1,300 followers on YouTube. So keep on loving and supporting us there, and then follow us on Twitch. We're back to being live regularly again. So follow us there. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify or anywhere you get your audio podcast, we appreciate all the love and support. Go leave us a 5-star rating and review and tell everyone that your favorite about your favorite 2 dudes on the internet.
Heck yeah.
2 dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.